Some women simultaneously fulfill the duties of mother and father. Known as single moms, they deal with a variety of difficulties. They negotiate life, giving their all to their children out of love. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. Alright, I'm not really sure how folks are claiming that he cheated. That isn't how I view things. How did it happen as he claimed to have dumped you? Did he make a divorce filing? Did you two decide to spend some time apart? I realize that he broke up with her, but it's possible that the legal paperwork wasn't finished. He absolutely has to take care of that right immediately. I believe he's waiting on you to finish the paperwork for whatever reason. He must complete it on his own. Nothing hurts a woman more than having her long-term partner break up with her just to marry his new girlfriend, whom he barely dated for a few months. Nothing wraths hell more than a lady so thoroughly despised. Women always want to be a man's final romantic partner, someone they settle down with, in contrast to men, who frequently want to be a woman's first love. When a woman dates a man for a long time and then gives him up to his future partner, she detests it. They're disappointed that they squandered their time getting him ready for commitment, to use a phrase popular among women. Therefore, it should come as no surprise that a spurned woman would frequently complain, "I trained and developed him into the wonderful partner he is, and now another woman gets to enjoy the fruits of my labor." Arnold is a married father of two who is 24 years old. The kid was just 2 years old and the girl was 4. Their home was a simple, unremarkable one. His spouse was a cab driver. Arnold started packing her bags and writing a letter one day. Upon completion, she placed it on the table and departed, leaving her kids by themselves. Rebecca, his wife, came home shortly after. Her kids were sobbing at the door when she looked around first. They had been waiting for their mother's return for several hours. She found this strange circumstance shocking. She started searching the home for her spouse but was unable to locate him. She spotted a note on the table as she walked into the kitchen and started to read it. Here is what was written. "Rebecca, my dreams were not of poverty, but of a life with you, full of luxury, travel, and happiness. However, it doesn't work with you. I want to savor my youth, yet I feel confined with you. I made the decision to move in with a woman I met a month ago because she has improved my life. I leave our kids with you, so please look after them and don't ever attempt to find me. I quote, am done wanting to learn anything about you." The woman read something that she couldn't believe. Her chest was shredded by the anguish that struck her heart, and she could not stop crying. She had to start over with her 2 children and the man she loved so deeply. The mom suddenly collected herself since her cherished children were staring at her. She took the letter to the garbage bin and threw it away. However, kids go through similar phases, and her daughter questioned, "Mom, what's wrong with you? Furthermore, where is Daddy?" In response, the lady said that while he had to go and might not come back, everything would be well and they would carry on as a happy family. Rebecca was left to take care of every chore in the house after that. In order to cook for the kids, wash them, do laundry, clean the house, go shopping, and take care of everything else, she had to wake up early in the morning. She had to bring her youngest kid to work with her, even though she had taken her daughter to kindergarten. After putting him in a kid's seat in the rear car, the woman buckled his seatbelt. The girl was nearly never fussy and appeared to grasp everything. Luckily, most of the passengers were aware of the circumstances, so there weren't many complaints. Quite the reverse. They engaged the infant in play, and returning patrons even gave larger gratuities. A dashing man called Emilio, who was around 30 years old, stood out among them. He got to know the woman well and even offered to occasionally watch the kids while she was at work. Rebecca consented, but the man consistently turned down her offers of payment to watch her kids. He told her he knew how hard it was to be a single parent raising 2 kids when money was always tight. The man was delighted to assist her. Even still, Rebecca continued to feel stuck. She was barely able to sustain the kids and pay the expenses. Savings was not discussed. She wanted a fancy automobile to make more money, but she was at a loss for what to do. Emilio once promised to assist her with the required paperwork and made her an offer to borrow money from the bank. After she nodded, the woman excitedly started to collect all the necessary paperwork. When she brought them to the bank, she was informed that she would have an answer within a week. This debt would determine her future and her children's future. She discovered a letter from the bank when she got home. Regretfully, it was a rejection. Rachel let go of her hands, but Emilio was by her side once again. He gave her encouragement and clarified that submitting requests to many banks was advisable, since a single rejection did not constitute a definitive decision. And so that's what our heroine did. She started getting letters from banks a week later. Upon opening them, she discovered that the loan had been rejected in every single one of them. Even though she had already given up on life, she started working up to 15 hours a day because she wanted to provide her kids a better life. She even began setting aside some money, but then the unanticipated occurred. The automobile broke down. Rebecca learned she didn't have enough money for the repairs after speaking with a technician. Bad ideas started to cross her mind right away. As she walked home, she considered what lay ahead for her kids. What will I do if the kids are taken away from me? I might have to beg to feed them. To calm herself, she stood at the home for a while. She heard her kids laughing as soon as she stepped inside. They gave out a joyful vibe. Her kids gave her a warm hug as she walked in. They had Emilio seated by them. He gave Rebecca a note that day. But there were refusals from everywhere, she said, startled. He added, "Maybe you were waiting for this one. It came a couple of hours ago." But he cut her off. Rebecca took hold of the envelope, cracked it open, and carefully took out the letter. An inscription said, "Loan approved." She found it hard to believe. Her plea had finally been granted by one bank. She could now provide a better future for her family. Rebecca eventually replaced the automobile as anticipated, which made it possible for her to provide greater services. As her income increased, the woman eventually started purchasing automobiles to rent out, in addition to working as a taxi driver. This gradually expanded into a sizable taxi fleet, and she gained enough money to purchase a spacious home, take frequent trips, and pay for her kids' top-notch education. She and Emilio were sharing a home a few years later. They were engaged to be married and much in love. However, there was a knock on the door one day. She had not anticipated guests. She was shocked to find Arnold, her ex-husband, who had abandoned her and the kids with no thought for their future, when she answered the door. It had been over 6 years since she'd last seen him. He expressed his desire to be with her again and begged for her forgiveness for everything. The man said that he was mistreated by the other lady and that he sincerely regretted his actions. After giving her a hug, he went inside the home without waiting for Rebecca to respond. Upon entering the kitchen, he noticed a man seated at the table and said, "Who is this? Eject this dude." However, the kids gave Emilio a firm hug and declared their love for him, treating him like their own father. "Never dare to return to this house," whispered Rebecca as she escorted Arnold out of the building. Once more, "Emilio is my spouse, and if you'd want, you can see the kids in line with the court's set protocol. Thus, now go find another woman. While you're still young, you could discover a millionaire who would provide for you in ways that I was unable to." Arnold was never seen again as she shut the door in his face. He never even paid his kids a visit. It was evident that his motivation sprang only from a desire for financial gain. Sadly, there are many examples of families losing a parent to pursue a better life. However, our heroine Rebecca was extremely fortunate to have Emilio in her life. He saw her potential and, together with his kids, became her greatest source of inspiration. At this point, are you crying? You now understand my feelings. Call, and don't seek for me. I want to bring up what you said to me. You said you would only get married to your ex-boyfriend. Go get him then and leave me alone. I am no longer here for you. You can now attest to the extent of my suffering at my hands. Although this is a really depressing tale, some people should learn such skills for manipulating the emotions of others. Because everything in life has a payback, you should never do to someone what you would not want done to you. You may regret it in the future. Talk about this tale with your companions. And that's all, pals. How do you feel about this narrative? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. I appreciate you seeing. Would you kindly like and post the video on social media? We'll respond to you as soon as we can. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.